This is my presentation on Flight 920 from Doha to Auckland, New Zealand. And I'm going to get right into it and show how it makes perfect sense on a flat Earth and does make no sense at all on a globe. So for starters, I want to show the jet streams over AE map. You see they're cyclical, and the reddish pink are the faster ones, and you see when the plane leaves Doha, it beelines straight for the fastest jet streams. These jet streams average from about 200 to 250 miles per hour. And this is important because this flight route wraps underneath Australia and heads northerly to get to Auckland. So later we're going to see what the jet streams do to this route on a globe. I believe this flight is discontinued because this is the most recent one I could find, and it was Qatar Airways. It was a 16 and a half hour flight. But I want to play a little something, a short something from Flat Earth Banjo. Shout out to him. Let's hear what he has to say.
Coming from the northwest of Australia, crossing and reaching Auckland, New Zealand, according to the shortest route on the globe calculated by this website called the Great Circle Map. But when we look at the flight route according to Flight Radar, we see that things are not actually like that. So Flight Aware has the flight route live, the playback live. So as you see there, right there, you see that it goes way south of India and then heads towards the south of Australia. Norway is coming from the northwest of Australia or even north of Australia. As we saw, it goes under Australia, south of Tasmania, and then going northeast towards Auckland. Pretty weird flight path on the globe. And you see it doesn't match any of these two on the globe. If Earth was the ball, it should definitely match with that. But let's now compare on a flat Earth map and see what we get. So here we have the Mars Doha goes straight south of India towards the jet stream, then flies along the jet stream south of Australia and Tasmania, and then reaches Auckland. So this is exactly the path of this flight. It makes more sense on the flat Earth map.
Okay, so what I did is I took a lowercase l, two of them actually, and stretched them out as far as they'd go to make sure I got them the same. They covered about 75 degrees, which is about 4,500 nautical miles. And then I angle it toward the angle of the flight path. So just to give us a point of reference, that's about 4,500 nautical miles, and we'll go from there. That seems to make it dang near, if not all the way to the jet stream, but it looks like the back half of that is a little further than that. So we'll measure that later. But this is why they don't fly a straight path, okay? Because if they flew a straight path, they'd go directly over Russia or China or shit, maybe both. So I'm pretty sure that's out of the question. So there's a perfectly good explanation. Two obvious explanations. Flying over China and Russia or jet streams. But anyway, I went and double checked Flat Earth Banjo's line to see if this straight line on a globe was right, and it is. It goes straight over Australia. So why don't they just fly over Australia? So I checked to see, what the Auckland flights do, and they fly straight over Australia, going right back over in the same region as that flight came from. Then I went to another city in New Zealand, and it seems that they all, or most of them, fly over Australia, so I don't see where it's restricted. And then I checked the jet streams. I did two different heights, like around 20,000 feet and around 30,000 feet, and seems like the globe route would be hindered at the beginning of this flight path, so I don't see why they would be going down and around underneath Australia. It's ridiculous. Look at the jet stream. It might help them, like in between Perth and Tasmania there for a minute. I mean, I'm having trouble with that one. But and they always give me the argument that they try to avoid water. They try to stay over land. Well, this flight is literally purposely avoiding land. They're going out of their way, a longer flight to avoid land. And there's the path again. And I started to map out the path on the globe, but it had been like 6 different segments, man. I gave up pretty quick. But anyway, so I take that 4,500 nautical mile reference line, and I'm gonna add the degrees. It's 15 degrees per longitude per meridian. So there's a little bit to get to the first one, but I will go 15, 30, 45, 60, 75 degrees, and then this last 15 degrees wasn't even 15 degrees, but I'll go ahead and add 5 to it anyway from the beginning in case they don't even out. So 80 degrees times 60 nautical miles is 4,800 nautical miles, plus the 4,500 to get us to the jet stream is about 9,300 nautical miles. So that seems reasonable. So a quick recap on everything. The flat Earth doesn't fly the straight route shortest path because they would have to fly over Russia or China or both. So that's a no-brainer. And they beeline it straight for the jet stream, so it might even be quicker that way anyway. On a globe, they're avoiding Australia to get to New Zealand. That's strange. And that would be the fastest route. Or they could fly over the top of Australia, and that would even be faster and probably get better help from jet streams or less hindrance anyway. So I guess the only thing left to do, Roohif, is welcome you to Flat Earth, sir. What do you got for me?